Hello guys, today we are here to have a GV on the main cause of unrest in the world. There are three leads. First one is religious diversity, the second one is racial diversity, and the third one is political diversity. With which lead you want to start, you can start.
Ma'am, according to my point of view, religious diversity is the main reason behind the unrest in the world. Now, let's have one example and talk on this. Israel, who are the people who are living in Israel? Those are Jews, and those has been persecuted from the World War II. In the World War II, what happened with that? Approx 6 million Jews were killed in a great Holocaust. And after that, there had been many wars against Jews. We can see right now there is an ongoing war, that is the Israel-Palestine war. We also can say Israel-Hamas war. In that war also, more than 18,000 people has been killed. So these are the things which are making unrest in the world.
There are people, I have listened this word that, but when we go for the other thing, then I would like to talk about racism. He has told right that because of religious diversity it has been, but when we go for the religious diversities in the depth, so this Israel and Hamas incident, the both are from Muslim. One is from Muslim and one is from you can say about Christianity or they are Jews. They have come from the single caste. Like they are divided by their races and races are fighting. There are a lot of countries dependent on a single religion. There are countries who are only we can talk about the Arab countries which are Muslim. But if you will go, then there are also fight. Why this is just because racism. There is a difference between Shia and Sunni. That is not religion. That is racism. Yes, ma'am, you are right, and I agree with your point. And I also want to add some things in racial diversity. Yes, as I told, religious diversity is main point behind the unrest in the world. But according to my point of view, racial diversity is also main cause behind unrest in the world. If I talk about in America, there is a lot of discrimination because of that African Americans. They are having less opportunities in jobs, in facilities, and education in every sector. And because of that, there was a time there was consistently killing of many black people, many African American like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and because of these kind of killing and this kind of injustice, there was a movement which name was Black Lives Matter. In that, approximately 15 million to 26 million African American gathered and they did spontaneous demonstration there. So it is also a reason behind the unrest in the world.
Yes, according to me, political diversity is the primary reason for unrest in the world. Now I want to tell about what is political diversity. Political diversity is some sort of ideology clashes between two countries or two parties. Like the very famous example we all very well known about the Cold War from 1947 to 1991 between Russia and America, where America is a capitalist country and Russia is a communist country. So that is a main reason. The second reason we all know the second war we all know about Ukraine and Russia war, where also Russia is a very dictatorship sort of country and Ukraine is trying to be a free democratic country.
Got your point, gentlemen, and I agree with the previous speakers who told about racial diversity. But one of you also told about Middle East. So let's talk about Middle East. As you were telling, in Middle East, Muslim countries are also fighting. But who are fighting? Those are from the different caste, who are from the different religions, like who are Shia and Sunni. Let's take example. Iran is a Shia country, and Saudi Arabia is a Sunni country. So those both countries are fighting from the longer time, very like from the very past, and they are also dividing Middle East in two parts. Like Iraq is supporting Iran, and many countries like UAE is supporting Saudi Arab, and there has been a great war on the matter of Shia and Sunni, and those are also fueling the war which is going in the Yemen. So it is also causing a civil war in many small countries like Yemen and Syria.
Yes, I want to add in your point that religious diversity is the main cause of that diversity. That that India and Pakistan war about India and Pakistan war that in 15 August 1947 the war is the war is classified that on that time that many Muslims went from India to Pakistan, like approximately 60 lakh Muslim and Islams were went, and from Pakistan that approximately 50 lakhs Hindu and Sikhs were came in India, and on that just before that 2 hours before that freedom, that a train went from Lahore to Amritsar. On that train, the Pakistan killed that all the passengers in the train because of their religion is Hinduism.
Got your point, gentlemen, and I definitely agree with you. And I want to tell you, India and Pakistan war is definitely on the basis of religion, and it has been there has been many wars from the 1947, in 1947, in 1945, 49, and after that in 1965, 1971, 1999, many people has been killed. And this is also not causing a war in the India and Pakistan only. It is also leading to terrorism, and terrorism is also leading to that unrest in the world. As we have seen, there has been great many attacks in the all part in many parts of India by the terrorists, and even in America and many countries there has been a lot of attacks by terrorists. Like for example, there was an attack by Osama bin Laden in America, and more than 3,000 people were killed in that attack. So this is how terrorism is leading by that religious diversity, and it is causing the unrest in the world.
There are very less example of when we are fighting with the other country. If you will go for that other example, then you will find there is civil war examples are more. If you talk about Russia, when Russia got independent, there were 15 countries also got independent at the same time in 1991. You will find the people all were from Christianity, but they were fighting with each other, and there was civil war for a long period of time. It was not faced by that there were religious diversity. Each and everybody was belonging from the same religion, but still they were fighting. Not they were fighting just because of their race. If you talk about First World War condition, then you will find the Nazis, the people to whom they were fighting, the Yahudi, they have sent to other areas of the world, not just because they were from the different region. They were sent to the other countries just because they were from the different race, not because of different race.
I agree with your point, and I also want to add some examples for racial diversity. As we all know that in South Africa, they all are from they are all are in same country, and there is nothing. But there, because of their color, like black and white people, there are separate places for black people and separate places for white people. And also in that education sector, in job opportunities, in everything, they are having white black people are having black people are behind if I talk about the white people. If I talk about there was a time of unrest. In middle of that time, a reporter asked to their citizens, why you are doing unrest? They told that government is not providing us jobs and everything equally, so that is why we are doing looting, and we will do it. So South African government should focus on this thing. If they will not stop this kind of inequalities, then unrest will definitely increase day by day.
Yes, I want to carry forward my lead political diversity. So I would like to talk about the conflict between China and America, where the one country is China. China is some sort of dictatorship country or controlling country. On the other hand, America is a very free democratic country. So the trade disputes between them and the competition of technology and the militarism advancement, because of this, they heightened the global tension. For instance, America and China engaged in a trade war. They both imposing lots of tariffs on each other goods, and because of this, disrupting the global supply chain. And because of the main reason is the different political system or their ideologies. Where America is advocating their free marketing principles, and where China is maintaining its state-controlled economy.
Yes, sir, you are right. As they told that racial diversity is the cause, I want to also say about racial diversity. Racial diversity should be in a nation, but when a thing, otherwise, when a society dominate on minority, then it will be to harm for a country, to harm for a nation. It happened in same America that white people used to dominate on that black people. And if I talk about the most racial diversity country, then it is a Liberia country.
In Liberia, there is the ratio of racial diversity is 88.9%, and Uganda follows closely behind the Liberia. It is with 88.3%, and the third one is Togo, that is 88%. I want to say about what is racial discrimination. Racial discrimination is the discrimination any discrimination against any individual according based on their skin colors and on their appearance, national origin, languages, and their culture and their religion also. So
India is a country which is having a lot of religion, and like we are diverse with our religion. But when a people from North India go to South India, so we are not we are not discriminated on the basis of our religion, but we are discriminated on the basis of our racism, because they are believing that we are from Dravidian, and but the North Indian people who they belong to Aryan community. So Aryan community and Dravidian are from same religion, but their races are totally different. That is the biggest reason. If somebody from North India go to South India, because South India is the hub for IT jobs. So the people who have done BTech in the North India are going for job and this kind of thing in Bengaluru and in Chennai. So they face this kind of discrimination. That has become a reason of understanding, especially India. If you talk about, that is not because of religion. That has become just because of racism.
Yeah, ma'am, I agree with your point, but like re, religious diversity is not a reason of that only become a reason of war. In the interior of our India, many people were fight to other peoples as a basis of religion. Like they don't make them sit in their homes. They don't give them the equal chance to sit with those, study with those. Like in that people who live in forest, so they don't give that equality to that came in the school and study for future. So this is also religious diversity.
As we look at the major reasons behind the unrest in the world, then refugee crisis is also a very big issue in the world. And from where refugees are coming, why refugees are coming? Let's take the example of Myanmar. What is happening in Myanmar? Buddhists are in majority. So what they are doing, they are persecuting the minorities. Those are Muslim. Those are called Rohingyas. So they are persecuting those. So they had to flee from their countries. And let's take the example of Syria also. What is happening in Syria? Shia and Sunni majority and minorities are fighting from each other. And the same thing is happening. Iran and Saudi Arabia are fueling those wars. And in Afghanistan is also what is happening. Taliban is a Sunni terrorism group which is persecuting Shia Muslims. So from all those things, all those religious diversities, refugees are coming in the world. Maximum refugees are coming from Syria, Myanmar, and Afghanistan. And those refugees are also causing unrest in the world because other countries also have limited resources. They also have to uh, give some equality to their own citizens. So we have also seen some kind of unrest in the Pakistan also. Pakistan gave some ultimatum to the refugees to leave their country. So this like this refugee like this refugee who are coming on the basis of religious diversities are also causing war or unrest in the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
as you lighten up that refugee thing, I want to add that I want to give an example of refugee that in 2020 the situation in the border of Poland and Belarus, the Belarus government tempted lots of refugees all around the world. They gave promises to them that they provide shelters and food to them. But when they reach to the Belarus, they send all the refugees to the border of Poland and do these kind of vulgar activities because they want to pressurize to European Union for negotiations because before some time European Union imposed sanctions on the Belarus government for their human rights abuses. So we can see that like these kind of activities, using migration and asylum for their ideologies, for their political diversities. So this is also the unrest in the world.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I
also
want.
want to add one more example for racism. If I talk about that at the onset of conflict between Russia and Ukraine, at that time, some Ukrainians who are black and POC Ukrainians, they started to find refuge in their neighboring countries and cities. Neighboring countries and cities. When they were when they were finding places to take shelter, at that time they were facing discrimination because of their color, because of their racism. At that time, on bus station, on train depots, they were facing a lot of violence because of their color, and also they were also facing a physical violence by doing encounter and all these kind of activities.
Yeah, ma'am, I want to put an example on. I agree with your point, and I want to put an example that South Africa is also facing this type of problem. that South Africa is also divided into two parts. That in one side that live white people, and on other hand the black people are lives, and the boundary is divided. The boundary which divided is known as Cape Town. So on that white people and black people. So white people have the more facilities to do work like electricity on time and that water supply. But on that other end, the black people don't get these type of facilities like electricity, sewage, wages, and because of that, their skin color is black. So this is also a reason of racial diversity.
I want to enlighten here to this point is that when we talk about racial discrimination, racial means the color which we are getting is not given by somebody after our birth. It is by birth. So we can't change it. The religion and other things are convertible. There are people who are converting to the thing, but after a particular color you are getting, you are not able to change. So the discrimination because of your color is totally wrong, and we should stop it by any law or whatever things we are able to make it, so that the people who are too much fascinated towards the white color should be much less fascinated about their white color, because white color is not giving them the right to discriminate to the gray color or to the color which does not belong to the white color.
Yes, ma'am, you are right. As I know, because of racial diversity, the people are not getting good health care, good health facilities. The people are not getting good education. If we talk about the latest example in COVID-19, the people who are from Africa and they used to live in America, they didn't get a good healthcare facilities. They didn't get bed in hospitals, and they just died because of this problem.
Yes, I want to say about the incident of after World War II. Like World War II, there is a country of Korea. After that, it divided into two parts, like North Korea and South Korea. In that situation, there is no government on the Korea, but the winners of the war is like USA and Russia, these global countries. So global leader countries. So the North Korea is led by the communist country like Russia, and South Korea is led by the capitalist countries America. So America is, as we saw like that today in the world, South Korea is a democratic country and North Korea is a monarch country or dictatorship country. So this is the another example of ideology clashes. This is a good example like how the political diversity used in unrest in the world, because North Korea is using his power, his nuclear power in a wrong way, and South Korea is using his power to provide to enhance his cultural activities like we are all very known about BTS and enemies, this type of things.
Yeah, got your point, gentlemen, and I definitely agree with you. As ma'am also told, we should not go for the racial diversities. I definitely agree on that point also, and we should also not go for any kind of diversities. It can be like religious, political, I think like the grouping which is happening in the world due to political things. We should not do this also, and we should follow the Indian ideology. That is Vasudev Kutumbakam. We should understand that whole earth is our family, and there is no religion. Like we should not take anyone. We should not judge anyone on the basis of religion.
Okay, so if I talk about that, how we can stop racial diversity, it start from us. If we find a person who is black, so we always want this thing like you should not come near to me. I don't want to speak with him. Like otherwise, if anyone is black and ugly, we will make fun of them. We will try to tease him. So we should stop this thing. If everyone will stop teasing black people and all these kind of things, so there is no any unrest, and government should also focus on these things. Like there should no any kind of discrimination on the basis of their racism.
Yeah, and India is also famous for its unity in its diversity. So world also must learn from India how to live in unity. Even then, we are having this much diversity.
Like I want to add the another country example. Like the reason is there the climate changes problem. Especially the countries like European countries is made a group for combating the climate changes problem which we are facing in every country like India and every country, most of the major countries, because they made a committee of Paris Paris Climate Accord, where they try to committed to the less carbon emissions and transitioning to renewable energy. Renewable energy, where the countries like America, because of their ideological clashes, they try to prioritize their own development instead of having concerns about environmental things like where they are using more carbon emissions in the industrialization things and all like that. Then after that they withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord things, and that hinders the whole collective efforts to combat with the climate changes things. So this kind of example which I gave you before, we should get that with one committee, like not the IMF, not the European Union, different things, not the United Nations, different things, all work together on a one thing and compare with every problem, like refugee problems, my friend said, like Shia Sunni things, my friend, other friend also said, the climate changes problems, these kind of things we should gather and talk about that.
Okay, I would like to add one point. If how we can save persons who are facing racial discrimination in Ukraine there is a place which name is Sami. In there, some student of university they were facing racial discrimination because of their color, and at that point some woman were there. They saved their life by doing a movement which name was Black Women for Black Lives. So by doing this kind of movements, we can save life of that movements. By doing these kind of movements we can save life, otherwise we can save people by facing this kind of racial discrimination and all these things.